Right, as you can see behind me, all the way to the end of the horizon is the blue sea, the Indian Ocean. Now this takes me to our upcoming conference in Cape Town later this year, 18 to 20 September. This is the fourth UNISA APGroN International Conference. It happens every year. It's been happening in Pretoria for the past 2 years. It was in Cape Town in 2021. We're taking it back to Cape Town for 2024. The themes, as you have seen from our call for papers, largely look at international law as it relates to the law of the sea, the law of the air, and the law of the land. In other words, you can look at any theme that you want within our call for papers. If you go on our website, you'll find the call for papers there. The themes are there. I would like to highlight that the papers or the themes are not necessarily cast in stone. Authors are free to engage with issues that they find current and topical at the moment, so long as we get to interact with the various issues in the area of international law as it relates to the sea, as it relates to the land, as it relates to the air. In other words, we're looking at aerospace and aviation, particularly at the international level. We're looking at the law of the sea, we're looking at the marine economy, we're looking at land border management, and so forth and so forth. So one of the key things we are doing this year in our conference in Cape Town is, last year we had a high-level panel that looked at conflicts on the African continent. This year we are planning to have 2 high-level panels on the first day, in the morning and in the afternoon of the conference. The first one largely looks at law enforcement within the borders of our sea, law enforcement within the borders of our skies, law enforcement within our land borders. The second one, we want to make it a very narrow high-level panel which talks to the economy that you see behind, the blue economy, the ocean economy. In other words, issues that have to do with the exploitation of resources in the ocean, particularly the Indian Ocean. Regulatory frameworks, regulatory issues in that space, transformation issues in that space, 4IR in that particular space, and other emerging issues that you might think of. So that's what the second high-level panel will be focusing on the first day of the conference. The other key thing is that on the first day, we largely focus on emerging scholars, your master's graduates or candidates, your doctoral candidates, or freshly graduated doctoral scholars. The aim there is to capacitate, to ensure that these junior and emerging scholars are capacitated by those of us who are ahead in the game. So it's a way for us to pay back, to society, to pay it forward, to ensure that because we too were once assisted to get to where we are now, we are then able to assist others to move forward in this journey. So the first day, parallel to the high-level panels, will be the capacity building colloquium, where we'll have your library training, your library tools, your research tools, and so forth and so forth. We'll be training people on how to craft an abstract, how to write for a journal, how to write an opinion piece, how to write a blog entry, how to write to publish, how to publish in a book. In other words, how to create a book chapter that can be accepted by a book, and so forth and so forth. These training and capacity building colloquia have turned out to be very, very in demand over the past 3 years since we started. We're going for the 4th year now, and the demand is very high. What it has done, it has seen people being able to publish their papers before they even graduate for their first degree, because they were hungry for more. They allowed themselves to come and participate, which is why we're also encouraging students who are in their undergraduate degrees to join the colloquium on the first day, and those who are doing their masters and those who are doing their PhDs. The wealth of information coming from senior professors who will be there, from retired professors who will be there, some of whom will, have been to the bench and back. Judges who are now retired are also going to be there to capacitate our junior and emerging scholars. So do not miss out. Check out the call for papers. The deadline for the submission of abstracts is the end of April, after which our scientific committee will meet and decide which papers to take into this year's conference. And we are, as last year, we announced that we're publishing a book from the proceedings of the conference last year, and that book is called The Teaching of International Law in Africa. We're in the advanced stages of concluding that particular book, which will be published with UNISA Press. This year we're looking at publishing yet another book. Again, we are looking towards UNISA Press to be our partner in that regard. So authors whose chapters we find to be of high quality, we might include in that book. That book will have 3 themes. It will have a theme that has to do with marine studies. It will have a theme that has to do with aviation and law. It will have a theme that has to do with international law in general. So we are having 3 themes this year for the book that we're publishing. Over and above that, we will be working on publishing special issues in the journals such as the South African Yearbook of International Law, accredited journals, high impact journals such as SILSA, which is the Comparative International Law Journal of Southern Africa, and the Mercantile Law Journal of South Africa. So those are some of the deliverables from this year's conference. You definitely do not want to miss out on this endeavor that we're embarking on. The College of Law, the University of South Africa, in partnership with other colleges within the university, because this is a transdisciplinary knowledge production process. We are partnering with other colleges to ensure that we deliver what Africa needs, the creation or the production of scholarship by Africans for Africans, addressing African problems that have been identified by Africans themselves. We're trying to raise the contribution of Africa from the current less than 1% to at least a sizable amount, where the end result should be that the contribution of Africans to African problems through research is actually well represented at the global level. So check out our call for papers on our website, which is www.apgron.co.za, and submit your abstract and hope for the best. We want to see you in Cape Town, 18 to 20 September 2024. Do not miss out on this opportunity, particularly if you're an emerging researcher, an emerging scholar. I know that for our established scholars, I don't have to say much. They know these things. I don't have to, preach to them. It's like preaching to the converted. They know what to do. They're established. That's how they got to where they are now. So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. I'm going to put the link to the call for papers in the comments as well, for those who are willing to throw in their papers. And for those emerging scholars who are perhaps a little bit scared about doing this, who've never done this, just know that at the African Peer Growth Network, there's a lot of mentorship that's available for your assistance. Just shout, write to us. We will be able to assist you, to mentor you, to show you how to actually craft an abstract, and how, once the abstract is accepted, how then do you change that to a full-blown paper, which might feature either in the book or in a special issue as a journal article. Thank you, and out.